start there anyway.
Well, welcome to the Walmart FLW Tour. I'm Tommy Sanders along with Jerry McInnes, and we are here in Walmart land, Bentonville, Arkansas, for the $650,000 Walmart Open. Out on Beaver Lake right now, we have 10 pros and 10 co-anglers, down from a field of 300. And of course, the co-anglers are fishing for the first place prize today, and our pros are fishing to make it to the final 5, and it's a different sort of fishing today.
Their big day comes tomorrow, which we will see next Saturday.
Yes, yes.
Randy Howe, Kurt Lytle, Guido Hibden, Bernie Schultz, and Cody Bird. How about that for a lineup?
Good lineup, tough fishermen, too.
And they will have a co-angler with them. And, of course, there are 5 boats out there that we're not covering. But I think the really interesting thing here on Beaver Lake at this time of the year is the fact that the bass begin to move up in the shallow water, start looking for places to bed and to spawn.
I'm going sight fishing. And the cloud cover this morning is going to make them bite pretty good, I think. So it's just going to be hard to see them. But should be able to catch them on a gambler wacky worm this morning. I hope so. So we're going to go out there and try to catch a limit. Then we're going to go hunting a big one because I ain't holding nothing back today. I got to catch as much as I can because we got some big dogs playing the game today with me.
These guys probably aren't making a cast unless they see a fish.
Total sight fishing.
Not all the time, but close to it, right. They're going to be sight fishing. We haven't done that here on the tour for several years now, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting because we got some guys that are darn good at that.
Yeah, one of those guys that almost everyone acknowledges as one of the masters of sight fishing is Bernie Schultz, who we've seen here on the FLW Tour before, a finalist at the Forest Wood Open.
Boy, he's all over it every cast. I'm surprised he hasn't bit it yet. Get the net. Just stick it in the water. Stick it in the water. He ain't gonna make it, I don't think. Thank you, partner. I don't think he's gonna make it. Oh, yeah. Just does. You need polarized sunglasses, absolutely. There's no way to do it without them, and I really don't have good vision, but with prescription corrected lenses I can see real well. For some reason I pick up the pigments of the fish real well.
Hey, well, Bernie, tell us, are you inside of a good area right now at this point?
Yeah, I'm working a fish about 3.5 to 4 pounds right now.
Well, talk to it. Kind of talk us through what you're doing, if you would.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what the fish is doing. I mean, every fish is different. Some of them are aggressive and some of them are real hard to catch, and this is one of those that are hard, you know, the tougher ones. But basically,
he's obviously aware that you're there too.
Oh yeah, she knows I'm here. It's just a matter of trying to figure out what triggers the fish, and like I said, each fish is different and each situation seems to be different.
What is likely to happen? Because I've heard, you know, we hear several guys say, we don't know what the fish is going to do. What are the fish's options? What are they likely to do?
They're likely not to bite after all the pressure that they've had this week. I mean, they've had a lot of boats looking at them and throwing at them this week. This water's gin clear. I got a little bit of color in this particular cove, but most of the places I'm fishing is really, really clear. And the fish have been pressured. They've seen a lot of boat traffic, and boy, I tell you, it just takes a lot of persistence, and light line has been a key for me. A real small tube bait. I'm using a little pro tube, and it's helped.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Walmart. Always the lowest price, always. By Everstar. It all starts here. By Wrangler. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans. And by Hamburger Helper, the deliciously good answer to what's for dinner. Action from the third day of the Walmart Open. We're on Beaver Lake in northwest Arkansas. Kurt Lytle, the pro in the front there. Steve Bowman in the back, co-angler.
Kurt Lytle didn't sleep in his truck last night.
I think he did sleep. That word is, he's our guy who finished in the top 5 in Okeechobee. Slept in his truck there, too, so he didn't get left.
Steve Bowman, isn't it fun having somebody in the tournament that you kind of know from home?
I guess wrong. I cover these things for the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I'm the outdoor editor there and have been for the last 10 years. And when I get an opportunity to fish one of the big tournaments that come to the state, I try to go.
And Tommy, we have talked about sight fishing the whole time here.
Yeah, this is probably the only 2 guys we're covering who aren't.
First 2 guys we come up on are not sight fishing. Matter of fact, Steve Bowman is throwing a Carolina rig, and Kurt's throwing a crankbait and several different things.
I try to go because it allows me to get, you know, there's more stories that unfold on the water than you could ever see at a weigh-in. And when I talked to Kurt on the first day when he was leading it, I didn't have to ask him specific questions like, what are you doing, where are you going, this type thing. Just by talking to him, I had an idea of what the fish were doing in his area. And it really gives me a different perspective. And it's not just it's just not a weigh-in story, it's a fishing story. And it helps me on my coverage, and I think it helps in the stories that I write. Those little, they're just wearing me out. Finally got a spot, and he's not big enough.
I got into one too, in case you're
You want a net?
not aware. Nope. I just didn't know what it was, other than I knew it was a fish.
You know, I really didn't intend to be here today. I mean, I just came up to kind of have a good fishing trip, learn a little bit more about the lake and how people from other states fish Arkansas water for possible stories and years to come. And I just had a good day yesterday. I was just lucky enough to get 5 good bites, and by chance made it. I spent a couple of hours after I weighed it in talking to my superiors at the newspaper, making sure that I didn't need to withdraw because it could be construed as some sort of conflict of interest. Be a keeper, Kentucky.
Well, he's saying Kentucky because a smaller Kentucky or spotted fish would be a keeper here.
The spotted bass
inch
needs to
limit.
be 12 inches long. And the largemouth now have to be 15 inches long. And something else a little bit unusual right here,
You know how to work
the
line,
water's
right?
off color.
Yeah.
Most of our boats are going to be fishing in a lot clearer water than this.
Trying to see how much that water might have dirtied up.
That looks like it.
Had a little stain from that rain. There he is. All right. Number 1. Thank you, Lord. We come up there and eat that thing so pretty. Woo. Slow motion. Be good if we can throw him back later.
Got one. It's a 2-pounder. I'll be honest with you, I pulled him to the surface before I knew I had him. Thought it was a floating stick. See if one of my fellow competitors didn't hammer out the point on my hook.
The Walmart FLW Tour, the Walmart Open. So far, we've looked in on Kurt Lytle and Steve Bowman. We've checked in with Randy Howell and Ron Cherkas. This is Cody Bird and Darrell Stevens, and they're in some of that clearer water you were talking about, Jerry, which is kind of funny. The lake at the lower end is clear. At the upper end is where the water's kind of cloudy, and, of course, the clear water just right for this sight fishing.
And this sight fishing right, and here, boy, we've got to have a perfect look at a couple of bass on a bed right here. Of course, the story is that the male bass goes in and makes the bed, clears him out a little place about the size of a car tire, I guess. and then the female will come in and they do their dance, and isn't it great to just sit here and watch this going on?
That's fascinating. Not too many people get to see this
That's
up close,
right.
and I think it's a real treat.
And incidentally, the Fish and Game Commission tell us that when these fish are caught and released back at our weigh-in point, they'll just go right back and start over again, so we're not harming them at all. And boy, it's a lot of fun to watch them and fish for them this way.
Guarantee it won't take long to catch this, and I don't think. I'll get him. Look out.
I'll get him, man. All you gotta do is...
That's a keeper, ain't it?
Yeah.
Cody Bird there from the Houston area. We remember him from last year, won one of our Ever Start events that we had in the series here.
Really,
the Arkansas River.
Kid.
Yeah, good kid.
And boy, we moved from Cody, dare I say old-timer, Guido Hibden?
He'll probably put up with it once.
Oh, yeah, and he is maybe the best at this sight fishing, so it's going to be fun watching him today.
It's a little old Kentucky, but it's a start, ain't it?
That's the way you get the boat smelling.
But it is a Zoom brush hog. I don't know why. Big female bass absolutely hate it. Cannot stand it. And basically, I love to flip a jig. I prefer to flip a jig. But there's a time for several weeks in the springtime that a jig just doesn't work. And the brush hog is the bait then, and it will outfish the jig by a long, long shot. Normally, it'll outfish about everything else, in my opinion. Other baits will work, lizards, tubes, but this one catches more big ones than the others.
Boy, it's always amazing how open these guys are. Kurt Lytle here is talking about some really good stuff.
What's important about what I'm doing is this reel. This reel is a Shimano Castaic. It's got a button in the back, just like most all reels do, that allows me to free spool. It's also got a button in front so that I can engage the reel. Here it's loose. Here I engaged it, and a fish just hit it. And that's what's so important about this reel. You can engage it without using two hands.
What Kurt was saying was so interesting. I think we didn't notice Steve Bowman also caught a fish.
He did catch another fish, didn't he?
We're back to Guido here. He's in that really nice sort of hemmed-in little place that he's found to do all his sight fishing there.
And his technique and Kurt Lytle's technique are so different, but they're in different kind of water.
That's a pretty serious place right there, though. There she is. Get your net.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, look at that one follow it.
Yeah.
Golly. There you go. Partner.
A heavier sinker, by the way, will give you more accurate, more efficient fishing. More accurate, more efficient, because you spend less time with the bait in the water. You spend less time with the bait falling. You spend more time with it where it needs to be in the strike zone. The sinker ought to be the lightest that you can get by with, that you feel comfortable with, assuming the fish are inactive. So I generally judge my sinker size on the activity of the fish. If they're really aggressive, I'll be using a half-ounce sinker on a piece of plastic.
Do you think they have to put up with that in the newsroom there at the newspaper when Bowman goes to work? I think he taps out his stories on the computer and he's practicing his turkey. He's at work here and he's doing his turkey call.
I bet he does. Turkeys are coming from everywhere, incidentally.
That's right, yeah. Look at him fogging down from the Ozark Hills there.
That's a good one.
Coming in. We have a new wave of fish. We've got to have a new wave. There's no way these fish were here before and I didn't catch them.
That's 2. I'll just get him in. Don't worry.
Sure?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Thank you.
That's a good one. But on the other side of the boat.
Here you go.
Before I get over there.
You know, Randy's doing all the sight fishing here, and his partner is not sight fishing, which I think is pretty clever. Don't try to copy the guy in the front of the boat. Do something on your own.
Oh, wow.
He got off.
Did he?
Yeah, he got off. Thought he did. My hook was already back here. I jerked him slam out of the water. Man, wrapped my line
There's a
all
lot of
up.
bait fish back here.
Man, he smacked that thing, didn't he? Golly. And I'm supposed to be that active.
Last time we had Bernie Schultz on camera, I think, was Lake Minnetonka, the big shootout for the $200,000 first prize there at the Forest Fluid Open 2 years ago. So
Yeah,
it's great to have Bernie back in the mix.
No, I was going to say it. We miss him. He's always got good information for us, and he's been right on the edge of making the finals several times, but good to have him back.
Talking about all this side fishing, when everyone hears that Guido Hibdon's in the top 10, they say, hey, that could be your
got the
favorite right
master
there.
right
Got
here.
the master right there. What is it that makes for a good sight fisherman, Guido?
Well, I used to think you had to have a good set of eyes, but I've kind of lost those, so it's, I guess it's just doing it for a long time, you know, and knowing what to look for.
What are you looking for?
Well,
what do you do to make those fish bite?
Kind of looking for isolated fish, you know. Today, that seems like there's, in this little old pocket we're in right here, right now, there's probably 25 that are spawning that are from 4 to 6 or 7 pounds, and they're paired up, and there isn't anybody can catch them whenever that happens.
You got a better chance of catching a single fish.
Yeah, that's what I've been fishing for. I mean, but as it is, I'm going to get out of here in just a little bit and go and try to find some different kind of water, because they've all paired up and they're all doing their little courtship right now.
And Guido, just because you can see them does not mean you can catch them.
No, it's no, there's thousands of fish. You know, I don't know what, you know, Beaver Lake has kind of got a bad rap of not having many big fish in it, but I can tell you right now, between us and the camera boat, we can tell you real quick, this son of a gun is full of big fish.
Yeah.
John Van Cleve, of course, you're going to leave here with some money, that much we know for sure, but you're also going to leave here with a great lesson in sight fishing. You've probably gotten to do it other days than today, haven't you?
Yeah, in fact, I fished with Bernie Schultz yesterday and watched him do it all day. Then turn around and watch Guido do it. It takes a lot of practice. These guys must have been out here a lot of hours to learn how to do what they do, because it's not easy.
I bet you can't wait to get home and try some of that.
Believe it or not, I am kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, where is home, John? Tell us about your background a little bit.
I live in Eufaula, Oklahoma. That lake down there, I don't know if we could do much sight fishing. It stays pretty muddy, but I've got some places around there in 10 Killer that we do sight fishing and stuff, and I never done much of it. Like I say, I've watched these guys do it, and now I've kind of got the idea. I probably want to get home, like you say, and do some of it.
It's so dirty, it's hard to tell how big she is, but she's long. Okay, she just bit it. That's good. Come on, Lord, please. Please, Lord, let her come out. Yes.
Left or right?
Right. Right there. Woo! Thank you, Jesus. Yes. Oh, man. Long and skinny. That's not as big as I thought she was. I'll take her, though. 3 pounder. That's a big male. Woo, I love it. She went. Boy, pumps me up. Love it.
Big one?
No, this'll keep.
Huh?
Yeah, this'll keep. Oh, I got him. Yes, there's one.
You're too hard on an old man to try to make him get up.
Thank you, Lord.
I was beginning to wonder if I knew how to catch a keeper.
Oh, I bet you do.
I remember now.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Coleman, the outdoor recreation company. By Timex, takes a licking and keeps on ticking. By Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks. And by Citgo, you know me. This is the Walmart Open on the Walmart FLW Tour. We're on Beaver Lake in northwest Arkansas. That's Bernie Schultz trying to work his way toward a limit.
Bring him right here. Good job, partner. Hope he's long enough.
Good net job by his co-angler partner there, Charles Tishner.
And the co-anglers, this is kind of their day, although it's extremely important for the guy in the front of the boat as well, because we've got 10 boaters on the water, and 5 of them are going to survive for the championship tomorrow. So obviously today is important, but we will crown a winner in the non-boater division.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A 17-incher there. Good job. Thank you. I feel like if I can keep that average going, I'll make the cut. I may not be first, second, or third, but I just feel like if you can catch that average, you'll make the cut, and then tomorrow will be a different deal.
Well, Bernie has definitely got a plan now. We're picking up on Randy Howell. He's making a move and utilizing, I think, the favorite food group of bass fishermen, those cheesy crackers. That's right up there with Vienna sausages.
Who was he telling to hold on right there?
Yeah, I don't know.
The cameraman. What you and I
right.
were. Hey, let me follow up on Bernie's statement there just a little bit more when he said tomorrow will be a different deal. These guys, actually tomorrow's easy for the 5 finalists. These guys are sweating out, making the top 5. It's almost like they're playing defense today. Then tomorrow they can just be free and easy and go on the offense.
Back over to Randy Howell and Ron Cherkis, and a good lick for Ron Cherkis here
on
on his way to a limit there. The man from Des Moines, Iowa, Randy Howell, still looking for a few more good fish. Randy, tell us, how's the fishing going today?
It's pretty slow for big fish. I've caught a limit, and I've lost a few today, too, off the beds, and it's just a real low light condition day, so sight fishing is a little tougher than usual. But I've got a little bit of time left, and I'm going to go look at a big one.
Hey, Randy, are the majority of the fish you're catching male fish, or are you catching some females?
Today, the majority has been males, but the last 2 days, I've caught a few females to anchor my catch. And that's what I'm looking for now.
What are you actually throwing at these fish?
I'm going along the bank throwing a little gambler wacky worm right now, just looking for fish and catching. I caught most of my limit on that. And then
will you even cast if you don't see a fish?
Yeah, I'm casting today since it's cloudy. Usually I won't, but since it's cloudy today, I'm casting, and then I'll find one that follows it up, and then I'll work it on the bed where it gets it or something like that.
Randy, did you teach yourself how to do sight fishing, or is it something you've picked up from other guys, picked up from Doc Talk or things like that?
Now, I taught myself how to do it on Lake Gaston in North Carolina growing up. My parents ran a marina there, and I went out on the lake every day after school when I was 12, 13 years old, and I worried every fish in the lake to death when they were spawning until I figured out how to catch them, and I love it. It's my most favorite way to ever fish, and I really want to make the top 5 to get in there for tomorrow because I really love doing this.
Ronald, was that in the keeper that you got in there?
Yeah, it sure was.
All right. Now, that's what are you fishing with today? What are you throwing at those fish?
Carolina rig. Well, he's sight fishing. I've been just throwing the Carolina rig down the guts. I did catch my first one on a tube bait.
So basically what you're doing is fishing for the fish that won't react to his lure.
I'm fishing for anything that's not anywhere near his lure.
Everything's not tied out. Ronald, tell us where you're from and what attracted you to the FLW Tour, fishing on the co-angler side there.
Well, I'm from Des Moines, Iowa, and I've fished a lot of invitationals. I'm getting to be an old man these days. And the stress and the strain in the invitationals is getting tough, and I think this just fits real good for somebody that can't go and spend a lot of time practicing. And it allows you to get the feel for what the fishermen are doing these days.
Right.
quickly over to Cody Bird and Daryl Stevens, who I don't think have rehearsed their double hookup routine very much so far today, Jerry. It's kind of a Keystone Cops deal.
I don't know if this will keep.
These guys have had it kind of slow today up till now, man.
Did you realize that Daryl actually netted one of Cody's fish after it was in the boat?
Yeah, that's people get a little crazy when they get a double. I go, and I've noticed that before out here on the water.
That's funny. Cody sight fishing, of course, and Daryl was fishing back in that little timber edge right there. Cody is.
Dadgum.
Uh-oh,
that's not going to measure.
You know, a dead gum in the middle of that. That just
means bad news. Means got one that's.
Boy, that's pitiful. Sat there all that time, won't even keep.
He's disappointed.
Well, help me sitting there. Help me a lot sitting there. Oh, me. Most time bed fishing don't help me when it's sitting there, but that time it did. There we go. Give me that. Golly! I don't know what else to say. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. He's coming up here beside you, right here.
There's the guy that all the local folks, the Arkansans, are pulling for, Steve Bowman, their sports rider, and he's making a little push here. He's going toward a limit.
A last charge, and he switched from that Carolina rig. He'd been fishing it all day long. And so in spinning tackle and a small worm now, and picking up a few fish.
I know where I need to go. I just can't get it there for some reason. I don't think I want it over a limb, though.
Ito Hibden here, one of the legends of the sport, and this is the technique that put him into that category.
And isn't it unusual that we can say two of the best bass fishermen in the world come from the Lake of the Ozarks, both Ito and Denny Brown. Boy, the Central Missouri's got to be proud of that.
All right, get your net. Over a limb, through a tree, and
to grandmother's house we go.
To grandmother's house we go.
Tommy, I am looking at the sports section of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, and right here on the front page in full color is Kurt Lytle, the gentleman that we'll be talking to in just a minute.
Here in just a second. First day leader, second place after 2 days.
But more unusual than that is the fact that the gentleman that writes the article, the outdoor writer there in Little Rock, is in the back of the boat.
There's his byline right there, Steve Bowman. And everybody who's even remotely interested in fishing in Arkansas knows who Steve Bowman is. Right. You know how these outdoor writers kind of rule the roost in a certain state, but Steve, like all outdoor writers, he kind of has to make his own story sometimes. He can't just report the box scores, and this is a story he was trying to make. He entered the tournament, and look at him, he finished in second place after 2 days. Hey, what's going on here, Bowman?
Did you say I make up stories?
I don't know. I say you make your own stories. You go out and hunt and fish because you can't just go cover a game. You have to make your own stories sometimes.
That's right. And really and truly, that's the reason I entered the tournament. It was more or less to give me a new perspective on covering it. You don't get the whole story and the weigh-in tent. You got to get out on the water and see some of those stories unfold. And so I enter a lot of these when I get the opportunity, and it pays off, and obviously it may pay off today.
Who were your partners the first 2 days, Steve?
I got drawn with Rick Clunn the first day, and as anybody knows, you know when you're fishing with Rick, you're going to be around fish. And I caught a limit of fish. He weighed 5 pounds, and the second day I drew out with Brandon Cook. He's a 19-year-old pro from Arkansas.
Young fellow from Pangburn, right?
Actually, yeah, I did a feature on him 2 years ago, so I was real familiar with him. We had a great time. Our boat broke down, and it just so happened that I knew where some fish were, and he had some close, and we stayed there close, and I had a real good day.
Now, what if you win $20,000 a day? You give that back to the newspaper, I guess, the people who are paying your salary to be up here, right?
No, that goes.
Well, we saw in the paper, Steve, where that was going to be donated to the Steve Bowman. What was it?
Society for Erstwhile Bachelors or something like that.
That's right.
Is that single guy?
Daggone right.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's a good cause there. It's gotta be.
And I tell you what, we kid Steve a lot, but I just have to throw this in. Probably no outdoor writer in the country covers competitive fishing any better, and fishing in general better than Steve Bowman. We're really proud of him.
Yeah, go get him there, Steve.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Kurt.
I still need to catch them, though, so if you got any suggestions here, I mean, you know, I'm a long way from 20,000.
Well, you never know. You never know. Kurt Lytle up there. Now, you didn't spend the night in your truck again this time, did you?
Yes, I did.
Did you really? Why do you do? Are you afraid of oversleeping or something like that?
Well, I sleep in the truck largely because when you stay with a group of people, which most everybody runs with other people in this tournament circuit,
yeah,
somebody in that group is going to snore or...
And you need your sleep tonight, right?
More often than not. It's just the mattress is more comfortable in my truck. I know I'll wake up with a good night's rest.
And you're right there when you get up.
I'll put it beyond it. Now go to the other one.
Go to the other one?
Get the other one first. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it right there.
There you go.
Get ready, shake it.
Shake it, shake
it. Come on. Right there. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Come here. This fish is green. It just came in from the lake.
I knew the fish was green. Why did I have to look?
The difference when you are able to find something that makes a difference, is it more likely to be color? Is it more likely to be the style of presentation? Is it more likely to be just how long you're willing to spend on that fish?
Probably as long as you're using something small and compact. Or if you use a bigger bait, it usually needs to be a lizard. But if you're, as far as lure selection, something small and compact like a tube jig is excellent. As far as catching the fish, it's really kind of up to the fish. It depends what stage it's in as far as the spawning sequence goes. And you just try to figure out what will provoke the fish into striking.
Now, how much time are you going to budget for each one of these fish? I mean, when does it become sort of a lost cause?
This one's getting real close right now. But
So how long have you been working on it?
I've been working this fish about 20 minutes. I spent 2.5 hours on a fish the other day and caught it, and that's the only reason I'm in the cut, or made the cut. And it was a 3.5 pounder, but you know, it's a kind of a judgment thing. I got 4, I need a kicker, and I'm willing to dedicate about an hour to this fish.
Get her. Let's get it. Gotta get her out of the tree. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Hey.
Can't see, the glare's so bad. It's like being snowblind.
Well, I now know what that means. I came out of that.
Another fish?
Yeah. Good catch, partner. Good catch. That's a nice large one.
That's a nice one.
Good catch.
Yeah, it's a nice fish.
Thank you very much. You a hockey goalie or something in your youth?
No, I'm lucky.
You're lucky? I'm sure this is a keeper, but I'm gonna be sure.
There you go.
Okay, you can close it.
That's a good one. Checking good.
All right, that's 5. I need to get rid of 2 little spots. Blind casting. Blind casting works once in a while, even when you're sight fishing. Thank you.
Benji.
Yeah, that was right. That was the best net job I've seen all week.
Everybody gets lucky once in a while.
You got a good job at it. Jab at it, I should say, too.
Would have been fantastic if it had come off the hook and been a cover shot. Get the net. Get the net. God, I thought it was a lot bigger than that. Look at all of them with him. Come on, baby. Good job, partner. We're in the money now. You bet.
Bernie Schultz is in the money, no doubt about that. Craig O'Neill is in the fun zone. How about that? Waiting for the fishermen to come back to Bentonville in the weigh-in, and that is only moments away.
Weigh-in again is our defending champion. No, yes, that's right. Our defending champion from last year. Right up here on this stage, he won $20,000. Please welcome from Davie, Florida. Here's Chris Rand. Come on up, Chris. All right. You're back again.
Here I am.
$20,000 you won here last year. I was so excited. You were so excited.
Excitement is my middle name.
That's your middle name? Are you going to have enough weight to get excited again here today?
Watch and see.
All right, we shall see. We shall see. That sounds a little confident to me. Reach in and let's pull them out. Trying to get to 4 pounds, 7 ounces. Are you watching close, Teddy? Okay. Here's fish number 1. It's a Kentucky spotted bass. That's kind of on the small side, that one. But he's a keeper. Any keeper's a good keeper.
They're all good.
They're all good. Okay. He's still reaching, digging, trying to get to 4 pounds, 7 ounces.
How much?
You need 4.7 to take over the lead. What are you looking for?
I'm just going to grab the one on the top.
All right, grab the one on the top. Okay, that's oh, wow, that's a good largemouth there. The first largemouth we've seen today. That's fish number 2. He's still digging. There's fish number 3. That was another Kentucky. So we've got 2 Kentuckys, 1 largemouth. Take this long to catch him out there.
Longer.
Longer, all right. Here comes, wow. Wow. Now that right there might make the difference. That is fish number 4, a beautiful largemouth. Again, 4, just 1. Have you got any more? And fish number 5. Wow. A 5 bass limit. Air new leader, check the weight, 8 pounds, 1 ounce, 8-1, Chris Rand. Good job, Teddy.
Well, as you can see, we're deep into our co-angler weigh-in, and Chris Rand, who did it last year, could do it 2 years in a row, could he? Or could he?
8 pounds and 2 good quality fish. How'd you catch those fish today?
I caught the little ones dragging a Carolina rig, and the big ones came flipping a jig. I caught those 2 big fish with about 15 minutes of fishing time left.
Get out of town.
Almost back to back.
Almost back to back.
I flipped in. I caught the second biggest fish, yanked him right in the boat. I put him in the live well. I didn't even have to measure him. I knew he's a keeper. And it might have been 3 flips later, I stuck that big fish and did the same thing, yanked him right in the boat. And I'm just like, wow, lightning strikes.
It has. Chris, we're right back to the same shape we were last year. Step on over here. We've got 1 man to beat, and he was the #1 man over the last 2 days. He caught more fish than any other co-angler. I think this is his 4th or 5th top 10 finish as a co-angler side, so he's very consistent. He weighed in 15 pounds, 8 ounces over the last 2 days. His name's Daryl Stevens from Roseland. You know Daryl?
Yeah, I know Daryl. He's a good stick.
He's a quality angler, true competition. One of the two of you is going to walk away with $20,000, so don't run off. Let's bring him up right now. Daryl Stevens from Roseland, Virginia. Come on up, Daryl. Wow.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be close?
Yes, sir.
Real close. It's going to be close, he said. We said that last year. It's going to be really close. All right, let's make sure we're just exactly at 0. Step over really close where you can watch. One of these two guys is going to win $20,000 and be crowned the Walmart Open champion on the co-angler side, which will guarantee them a seat in the year-end championship. And if they are the highest, if they're Ranger qualified, they'll guarantee them a seat at co-angler in the Ranger Millennium with a shot at $250,000. Two fish, very small so far. There's fish number 3. We're not worried much yet. Okay. Let's see number 4. All right, here's number 4, a little better fish right there. But I think number 5 is the one that we want to have a look at. Bring it out, let's have a look at fish number 5. Wow. Wow.
Don't let him dry off too much.
You just hang on right there. Just what did we say this time last year?
It's real close again.
This is going to be really close. This 5 fish for Daryl Stevens. Chris Rand, our champion from last year at 8 pounds, 1 ounce, 8.2. 8.2 will be worth $20,000 for Daryl. Let's check the weight. 5 fish, all alive. 7 pounds, 5 ounces. We have a winner.
Only in America.
Only for Walmart.
Only for Walmart.
$20,000. Last year you won $20,000. What are the odds of the same man coming back? God, it's got to be astronomical.
Oh, man. This is intense.
This tournament is just meant for Chris Rand. Do you just feel better when you come here to Beaver Lake?
I don't know what it is. I think there's a spirit here that really, really likes me a lot. I mean,
evidently.
Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Evinrude Outboards and Electrics, the world's most refined engines. By Uniroyal, driving dependability home. By Coca-Cola, always Coca-Cola. And by U.S. Bank Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Boy, our flashback goes all the way back to last year when Chris Rand started his big run. That was last year now. Can you believe it? 2 years in a row.
Coming up next Sunday, 5 anglers will vie for the $150,000 first prize. Charlie Evans tells us who they are right now.
Open champion, it might be from Gainesville, Florida. Bernie Schultz could be our $150,000 winner.
I've been a tournament angler for many, many years, and I've come close so many times, and I just haven't quite been able to close the deal. And it would mean a lot to me if I could finally get the job done and do it in a style of fishing that I'm very comfortable with, which is perfect in this situation here on Beaver Lake. Nobody can dominate this sport because the talent base is just too broad. The guys that are coming in now are so well read, so well versed, and because of all that information that they've gleaned over the years from, you know, the senior pros, there's just no way. That they're hungry, they want it, and then the old guys, they're not dying or going away. They're still there, and they're very competitive, as you can see by this tournament.
Or it could be Carl Seaback from Sam Rayburn, Texas. He'll be fishing out of the Visa boat.
I think I should win this tournament on Beaver Lake because I've been real fortunate to fish a lot of different tournaments throughout, and I just feel like I've put in my time and due for the big one. Nobody really seems to dominate this sport because it gives just about anybody an opportunity to you know, take their chances, to get out there and get after it. Although most anybody can do it, it can be pretty tough at times.
Or it might be the Arkansas favorite, Rob Kilby from Hot Springs, Arkansas.
I should win this tournament because I've really made a lot of the right decisions during the heat of battle. You know, you put in a lot of preparation for any tournament, particularly a big tournament. But the key to doing good is how you act under fire. I don't think anybody can dominate this sport because there's too many aspects to the sport, too many variables. The weather is probably the biggest factor in that. You know, it's a constantly changing environment.
Or sitting over here in the Timex boat today, it could be Clark Winlet from Cedar Park, Texas.
I think I should win this Walmart Open because I have worked really all my life to win a tournament and of this magnitude. And for once, I'd like to have everything come together because that's kind of what it takes, everything come together and win the tournament. You basically have a whole lot of fishermen that are very, very good fishermen, but you have to deal with the variables that are out there, the weather and the fish. And the fish are different every day. You might find a fish in one situation that'll bite for one person and not for another. So I just think it's almost impossible for one person to dominate. The fish are too unpredictable.
And you know, he's not from Arkansas. He may be another hometown favorite just over the border, Rabbit Mills, Missouri. It might be Guido Hibden, our $150,000 winner.
I should win this tournament tomorrow because I've been at it so long and I deserve it. A lot of good fishermen in this. I mean, all 5 fishermen, they deserve to be here. I think I deserve it more. Well, I don't think any single person can dominate the sport because there's, you know, my strong suit is probably, I mean, if I had to pick one, it's probably sight fishing or flipping or something like that. You know, and there's certain times of the year that there's going to be crankbait fishing going on or spinnerbait fishing. All of us, you know, most of the pro fishermen can do a little bit of everything. But there's always those people that has their strong suit. And there's, you know, that can't last for 12 months out of the year.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com.